What is up, everybody? Thank you so much for listening to another episode of Your Ex Drinking Buddy with me, your host, Brennan Tassif. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe. Check us out on YouTube. Full video available there. Check out the merch store. Look at all this stuff. We got all this stuff on the merch store. It's all available on the website, BrennanTComedy.com. You can also get my tour dates there. Every show that I have coming up, I'm going to be in New York, traveling the country, doing a bunch of gigs. So check it out. Get tickets at BrennanTComedy.com. Check out the merch store. And lastly, if you really want to support, go to www.patreon.com/BrennanTComedy. And that is where you can find Tales from the Restaurant, where I divulge everything about the celebrities I wait on. And also a little bit of behind the scenes. You'll also get the episodes early, a bunch of bonus episodes. Check it all out. Thank you so much. Enjoy the episode.
Grab me a beer and grab him a coke. We bout to sit for an hour, bullshit and tell jokes. And please don't mix it up, cause he done sobered up. Brennan T Comedy on your social media feeds. And Brennan Tassif is your ex drinking buddy. Brennan Tassif is your ex drinking buddy. Brennan Tassif is your ex drinking buddy. Brennan Tassif is your ex drinking buddy.
What is up, everybody? Welcome into another edition of Your Ex Drinking Buddy. I'm your host, Brennan Tassif. If you're new to the program, quick rundown of the show.
Yeah.
I used to be everyone's favorite drinking buddy. This is my favorite thing to do, hang out with friends, get drunk, do drugs, get in all sorts of trouble, and then reminisce about those crazy stories. I am sober now, but it's still one of my favorite things to do, hang out with somebody and reminisce about the crazy old days. Most weeks I'll be joined by guests. This week is no exception. All the way from New York City, Samantha Santos.
Yeah!
You're back.
I'm back.
Oh, man. For the listeners, we were talking a lot, so now
Yes.
it feels kind of awkward to force so how are you doing?
Exactly.
Like we didn't just talk for 20 minutes before we started. But before we get too far into anything, plug everything up front, the podcast that you do with
Yes.
JC, social media, the whole deal.
Okay, so you can follow me at Make Me Laugh Sam on all platforms, and then you can also follow and listen to our podcast, Soft Lunch Podcast, anywhere you find podcasts.
It's a great podcast.
Yes.
JC and I were talking about it when he was on 2 weeks ago, and it's fun.
Yeah.
And we've had some updates in the traders world
Yes.
since he was on, and now you're on.
Yes, I'm excited.
Rob.
Rob, I mean, what a smoke show.
God.
Jesus Christ. I mean, that's not even really my type, and we watch it, and I'm like, wow.
It's the same thing with Tracy.
Yeah.
I was like, were your last three boyfriends black? And
Yeah.
she's like, yeah, but he's so hot. And I'm like, all right.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we could ask the same question. She's with you now, so I think her taste has changed. Yeah. No, but he's not my type. But I'm watching him. I'm like, oh my god! And I didn't watch Love Island when he was on it.
Yeah, I'm not into. You guys are into Love Island now.
But I didn't. His season, I didn't know anything about him.
Yeah.
And then he came on the thing. I was like, who is this guy? Because I thought I was gonna be into Steven because I'm a Laguna Beach girl.
Okay.
Because that's very my age group. I was
Yeah.
like a senior in high school, and so was he. And I felt like I was connected. But I was like, I don't give a shit about Steven and his fake tan. I'm like, give me Rob. Away.
And he plays like, I'm just a dumb dude from
Yeah,
Alabama. And then he'll do a move and you're like, that was so conniving and smart.
It's insane. And he's just a snake. He plays with snakes.
Yeah, he's a snake wrangler.
I love it.
And he went after Candace.
Yeah.
And then Candace was like, oh, I'm going to turn this around on you. And everyone, you, me, JC, Tracy, we're all like, no, you're not.
No, you're not. I mean, also, I watch her show. I've watched the show she's on, Housewives of Potomac. And I knew she was not going to be able to get over her emotions. She puts her emotions in and everything. She could be right about something, but she never executes it correctly. So then she becomes wrong. So I knew. I was like, and I don't like her on the show she's on.
That sounds a lot like me. I actually have that same trait.
She sounds a lot like my mom.
Whereas, which we talked about on your last episode. Yeah. Are you proud of yourself?
Yeah. That's right. So I'm watching her and I'm like, she's gonna put her foot in her mouth. I'm waiting for it to happen, and she absolutely did.
She especially when she tried to fabricate the whole well, I think Colton was just a puppet for Rob, and everyone was kind of like, what?
Yeah, it just didn't make any sense. And then also I want to say I don't like Michael Rappaport. I was happy to see him go because he was just annoying, right? But what he said to Colton, everyone made such a big deal when he was like, who could be a better liar than you? Candace saying that Rob was Colton's beard. Not the best. Not the best, and everyone just looked right past it.
Not less offensive.
Exactly.
Than
I was like, this is a little weird. Yeah.
It is interesting when certain people say things. It's that old adage, and we see it all the time as comedians. But it's like, oh, that comic can say that, but if I said that, it's a no-no.
It's a no-no. Yeah. And it's also Michael Rappaport's an easy target because he's so loud and obnoxious. Yeah. And I think everyone at that round table knew he wasn't a traitor.
Yeah,
they were like,
well, they even said we'd rather you're just. you're not a traitor, but you're a very bad faithful.
Yeah, get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
You just don't want to spend time with that guy.
And the people like that kind of bother me because given growing up in the South, Southern hospitality, but you and I have been friends for 5 years now. Same thing with JC. Like, you guys are from New York.
Yeah.
But like, the thing I don't like is that distinction that people try to make where they go, I'm just a truth teller. I just tell it how it is. And it goes, and I'm like, no, you're just a dickhead.
You're just an asshole.
Yeah, because like I know people from New York. I've known you guys for years, and you're the sweetest, nicest people.
Exactly. I'm so sick of that. When I was watching it, when he started bringing New York, I was like, don't get us involved.
Yeah.
We don't claim you. I don't like it at all. It's just.
I'm just a New Yorker. It's like, no, you're a dickhead.
Oh my God. It's please. I did a video recently about like bring talking behind people's backs back.
Yeah.
Because like I'm so sick of people being like, I just say it how it is. Too bad. I'm like, no, you're an asshole.
Well, and that's the thing I always tell people. It's like, because I have body dysmorphia, I go to the gym all the time. Like I'm very conscious. Like I'll record a set and then I'll watch it back and I'm like, you fat piece of shit.
Oh my God.
Kill yourself.
We can talk.
And
Say it.
But then it's so interesting because I'm like, yeah, but if people said to me like, hey, like you got to tighten it up, like things, that's one thing.
Yeah.
But if someone said, hey, you're a fat piece of shit.
Exactly.
My point is like, you're saying the same thing. In my brain, I hear it the same way, but there's a certain way you can go about it.
Exactly.
So there's a huge difference between I just say it like it is and I'm a complete dickhead.
Exactly. And people just feel like people feel like they don't have to package anything up nicely.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, you kind of have to.
That is what empathy is.
Absolutely. And then it's also like people like Michael Rappaport are probably the most insecure people because I'm sure if people told him how they felt about him, he'd be.
Well, Ron said the best thing where he goes, yeah, you know Michael Rappaport from a lot of movies, but this is an interesting fact. He's not an actor. It's just playing himself in every movie where he's just loud and bombastic. And
Absolutely.
it's like,
and if we're being honest, I don't know anything Michael Rappaport's been in.
I just know Hitch.
That's right.
He plays the best friend.
That's right. Oh, wow. I totally forgot about that. Yeah, not memorable for me. I don't know him from anything.
He's in like 2 scenes, but I just love that movie.
Yeah, please, it's a classic. But I only know him because he's like huge on Bravo. He goes on Watch What Happens Live, and he has opinions about, women's business.
Of course he does.
And that's like a fun because it's like housewives and their caddy.
Yeah.
But he's just a nightmare.
Well,
like I hate his social media work.
This is like he did the thing that we've seen a lot where it's I'm an actor, I've been in stuff, but I'm a comic, and it's like we know people who are like actual comics who get into acting and then they go back to comedy. Yeah. That's one thing. But for him, it was kind of like you just kind of get on stage and yell. Like,
yeah, it's also he's like one of those guys that like someone told him he was funny and he's been running with it for years. You know what I mean?
I'm a comedian now.
Yeah, he's got way too much confidence and he doesn't. He shouldn't have it. He shouldn't.
Well, and it's just one of those weird things because you could. There's like that style, like the angry yell guy.
Yeah.
Like Tim Dillon does it, Bill Burr does it, but it's like, yeah, but they're very good at it.
They're very good and they're funny.
And they know how to find the punchlines. And then you get people, like we say this in sports all the time, for every one Josh Allen who's a running quarterback, it's like it spawns 10,000 like failures.
Yes.
For every one comedian who can do it well, it spawns all these other people who are just like, oh, I'm just going to yell or be like Anthony Jeselnik, I remember, was huge when I first started doing open mics. And everyone, including me, was like, I'm going to be an edgelord, like super dark.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, but you're not. You're just saying offensive things. You're not actually writing jokes.
Exactly. Well, that's how I feel about Patrice O'Neal. He was great.
Yeah.
So many people try to be like him, and they're like such assholes and dicks. And it's like he was allowed to be that way because he was so great on stage.
And he could make it so funny.
You're not like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that whole, the bit that he does, Elephant in the Room, I'll never forget. It's one of my favorite bits where he's like, yeah, there's this girl who was captured in South America, and like, but she's brown, so nobody remembers her.
Yeah.
And everyone just he's like, has anybody heard about this story? And nobody says anything. And he goes, what was that one white bitch's name who died off the coast? And everyone's like, Natalie Holloway. And he's like, my point exactly.
Exactly.
I was like, dude, that's such a good bit.
It's such a good bit. And he was great, but like some people try to like embody him, and it's like, you're not.
You can't do that.
There's some people that are just like once in a lifetime, and I just feel as though that's what he is, but so many people try to be him, and it's
and it's
bad.
the same thing with like with the Chappelle thing, because now he's doing a lot more like philosophizing versus stand-up. And so many people are like, I'm going to do that. It's like when you go to a museum, and I've made this point before, but then you see a painting and you look at your friend and you go, I could paint that. It's like, yeah, but they also painted all these other things that you could not paint.
Exactly.
So for like Chappelle, like I some of his newer stuff, I'm like, yeah, it's deep, but
it's
how
not for
funny
me.
is it?
It's not for me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it is interesting because I always say that with knowing in mind, it's like, yeah, but I also couldn't do all the other stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the years and years of comedy that he did that like everybody can recite
verbatim.
Exactly, you know what I mean? Yeah.
I'm rich, bitch.
Exactly. Exactly. I'm like, the Chappelle Show, it was so big. It doesn't matter, honestly, what he does. Doing all those things before has allowed him to do what he's doing now. Yeah, but people just want to do what he's doing now when nobody knows who they are.
I see it at so many open mics where people are either super aggressive or try to be super deep, and I'm just like, yeah, I get what you're doing, but you're not. You gotta start.
You haven't put in the work in.
The funny thing.
Yeah, you have to be funny. You have to prove to us that you're funny. Then we allow you to do whatever after that.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the other thing too. That's why a lot of times, because I still go to mics, because like I get so in my own head about.
Of course,
when I have like a spot at a comedy club or a spot on a show, I'm like, you can't fuck this up.
Yeah.
But then it makes it so it's like, well, I can't try anything new.
I know. I feel the same way.
Awesome.
It's so bad. Honestly, for me, if I'm at a show and there's comics in the room, I'm way more nervous than the crowd. It's like, I'll never see you again. Yeah. And it's like, whatever.
Well, and you don't know you don't know.
You don't know anything, but the comics.
I could fuck up a punchline and you guys would still laugh.
Yeah.
Because
you're dumb.
Yeah. Well, that's what it is.
But when comics are in the room, I'm like, I gotta do like my A+ material. I cannot fuck around.
Yeah.
And I get so nervous. Like, there's so many times, even with JC in the room, like if I'm trying something out, I'll be like, hey, do me a favor, let me have my dignity, get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Like, don't even watch me.
I've my good friend that I go on the road with, Matt Fulcheron.
Yeah.
Because I'm so obsessed with stand up, I would just sit in the room every time and watch his set.
Yeah.
And then over time, like he's super sweet, the nicest guy. But over time, I was like, oh, I hate it when people are in the room when I'm doing. Maybe I should get out of the room.
Yeah.
It took me like 4 or 5 stops on the tour to be like, oh, maybe I shouldn't be sitting right up front, being like, hey, boy, oh boy.
I feel like I'm the same way. I'm such a fan of comedy. But some people don't mind it. Like, JC doesn't. He'll be like, I'm trying something new. I want you in the room. And I'm like, really? I'm like, and because he doesn't care.
Yeah.
But like for me, I'm like, no, I feel like you're going to get the ick if I bomb. You know what I mean?
Oh, I didn't even think.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's like the worst. And like sometimes like when I'm going to tell a joke for the first time, I'm so in my head that I always fumble over my words.
Yeah.
It never comes out the way it's supposed to. So it's like, please leave the room because I'm so embarrassed by it. But he doesn't care. And also like I host a lot. So my favorite thing is I'll watch a whole show. Like if I'm hosting something at New York on like a Saturday.
Oh, it's banger after
It's a banger. And
yeah.
I'm like, I'm a student.
Yeah.
I want to watch you guys, especially if it's a bad crowd. I'm like, I want to see how these comics like get through this because this crowd is terrible.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm a student. I'm watching them do it and I feel like a better comic after. But God forbid someone did that to me. Like, when I get big and like someone's hosting a show for me, I'm going to be like, get the fuck out the room.
Get out.
Yeah.
It's in my rider, actually.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not allowed to be in the room. No green room, no showroom. Sorry.
Exactly.
You can go outside and smoke if you want.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah,
you can lean against the door to try to listen.
Yeah, exactly. Like come in for my 2-minute light, but don't watch anything out. Yeah, I don't want. It's so embarrassing.
It's interesting you said that about the bad audience, or not, because like there's the give and take. It's like it's our job to be funny, no matter how the audience is, but it's also like. Yeah, but it's subjective at the same time. So it's like there are some people who don't get it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I did a show Saturday, and it's a great show. My buddy runs it. It's in New Haven, and the venue is like 15 minutes from the train. And I did this fucking stupid ass thing where I was like, I'll just walk. I'm from New York. It's 15 minutes. For those of you listening, I'll timestamp this a little bit. There was a massive blizzard like 2 weeks ago, and it's been so cold the snow hasn't melted.
Yeah.
It was the same thing in New Haven.
Yeah.
Sidewalks are shut down. At one point, I turned a corner and the wind hit me, and I was like, oh, I'm going to die out here.
I've been feeling like I'm going to die.
I was like, this is it.
Yeah.
I tripped over a curb because it was covered by snow, and I fell face first into the snow, and I was just like, yeah, this is it.
No. And then that would have ruined my set.
My son will never know me because of the snow.
That would have ruined my set because if something bad happens on my way to a comedy spot, I'm like, oh, that's it. It's a wrap.
The whole night is ruined.
The whole night is ruined. There's just no point. So if I would fall before, it's like.
I fell face first into the snow, and I was like, oh, my God. But I get to the show, and I'm talking to the host, and he's like, yeah, it might be a little light because of the weather, blah, blah, blah. But then like 40 people, and it only holds like 50 people. So 40 people showed up, and I was like, and I remember watching the host go on, and he's doing his thing. And I just remember thinking, and I don't know if you feel the same way, but like sometimes you'll get an audience and you'll look around and you'll be like, oh, I'm going to fucking destroy.
Yeah.
Like you guys have no idea what's coming. And I even talked to the host after. He was like, yeah, it's like I don't host a lot. Like, how am I doing? And I'm like, oh, you're doing great. But it was kind of, hosting is a different animal.
Touch and go. Yeah.
And you don't know when to work in crowd work versus your material.
You get them at their worst. You get an audience at their worst.
100%.
Yeah.
And so then I go up, bullet. I'm like, after the host, I'm the first comic. I'm like, I'm going to fucking
you guys aren't even ready for what I got.
First joke hits, and I'm like, here we go. Hey. My second joke, which is a tag onto the first joke, crickets.
Yeah.
And I was like, no.
No. This was not the way it was supposed to go. I failed to get here. You're supposed to be laughing.
But I mean, and it's such a crazy thing because it was like they were like a wave pool. Like a lot of times we try to ride the wave, but sometimes it's a wave pool. It's like up and then down and then up and then down.
Yep.
And that second tag the second joke for the first didn't hit, and I was just like, but you guys were just like dying.
Yeah, it knocks you off. Like you're
what happened?
Wait a minute. Yeah. Why do you hate me now?
And I've seen it as an audience member. I see it all the time because when I first moved here, I was at the Stand in the Cellar constantly, and I was always watching shows. I mean, that's how we met.
Yeah.
And I remember like sometimes comics would be like, I don't get you guys. Like you're dying and then you're quiet.
Yeah.
And I used to always think in my head like, that doesn't like I'm laughing like that doesn't make any sense. But when you're on stage, it's like, oh, I get it.
It's so uncomfortable. You don't know what to do. You're just like, what the fuck is wrong? Yeah.
It's like, because the two jokes are tied into each other. So it's like you like the first part, but you didn't like the second part. Now I don't know where to go.
Now I want to like interview you guys. Like, what didn't you get? You know what I mean? Like now you want to explain your joke. You're like, do you not understand? It's
how
really,
they're connected.
It's really a mind fuck. It really is. And it's anytime I'm at a show and I'm like, I'm about to rip. I almost never do. Or anytime people tell me they're a hot crowd, you're gonna have a great time. Never.
I
never do. It's like, don't even tell me that at all.
And then sometimes people will be like, God, they're rough. That's work. And then you go out there and you're like, bam, 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 bam,
and then you feel like Dave Chappelle. Then you leave there and you're like, yeah, I mean, they were good for me.
Well, that's the other thing too, is I think it is, to your point, it's like a mind fuck because it is a thing where it's like, if they're like, oh, that crowd's awesome, you're like, oh, this will be easy.
Yeah.
And then you go in almost like a trap game where you're like, oh, this will be fine. And then the first joke doesn't hit and you're like, uh-oh.
Yeah. It almost hurts more because you're like, oh, you were a good crowd. I absolutely suck. Yeah. But there is nothing better. For all of those, I'll take, like, I remember one of my most memorable shows was, it was at New York Comedy Club and I had a spot and everyone was bombing. And Daniel Simonson went before me. They gave him nothing. I love him. I think he's so fucking funny. And he came off stage and the host tried to do like some time in between. So he came up to me. He's like, good luck. They're so bad. I fucking ripped. And I couldn't believe it. And I literally got off stage and I'm like, I'm the best comic in the world. No one can touch me. I'm like, put me on stage in the cellar.
What are we doing?
What are we doing?
Somebody call SD right now.
Yeah, right now. I don't even need an audition. It was like, I was walking on fucking sunshine.
100%.
And then, that's never happened again. Daniel Simonson always is better than me, but it was like, I needed that. Like God knew. I'm not even religious, but God knew what I needed that day. And it was... When I said, like, I, like, riffed on something that the host said and everyone started laughing, and I was like, oh, I'm in the pocket. Yeah.
That is my favorite when there is, like, a throwaway thing somebody says, and then you tag it just because it's on your top of your mind. You just heard it. We're very observant.
Exactly.
And you just tag it, and it crushes, and you're like, I'm kind of a fucking professional.
You're like, oh, please, I didn't even think of it. That
was a throwaway.
Yeah.
I said it while I was searching my brain for the joke I wanted to do.
I'm like, there's more where that came from.
JC said it on his episode. He's like, you low IQ morons. But I need you. I love you. Please,
I love you so much.
Need you.
Yeah, I need you. That's so funny. We did a show in Atlantic City once with what's his name? Oh God, I'm so bad with names. I forget what his name is. It'll come to me later. But they were terrible. Then we like got in the car and we were all defeated. And he was like, they were pigs and we fed them slop. And it was like perfect because I was like, yeah, that's exactly, they were pigs. Yeah.
You fucking pig. And that's the thing, like with the show that I just did, it was like up and down and up and down. And then I get off and then this younger comic goes up who's like, he's very funny, but it's that very much like, because I always try to be deep and I talk about trauma and all the bad shit in my life, but I try to make it funny because that's my whole thing. That's why I do comedy.
Exactly.
But then he got up and was doing. I texted Tracy and I was like, he's doing like meme jokes.
Yeah.
Like jokes that you would like see as a meme, but he's like doing them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he's actually ripping.
Yeah. No, sometimes that
and there's
happens.
a part of me where it's like, yeah, but I don't want to do that.
I don't want to do that. I know.
But it's also like, but he's like,
I want to do that.
Applause break after
I want that.
I'm like, he's crushing.
It's so true. I remember one time bombing. It was at the Pear, so who cares? But I bombed so bad. And like, they didn't give me anything. And then I tried to go into the crowd. And I was like, all right, let me try to. They gave me absolutely nothing. And then a comic went after me. And I love him. I think he's so funny. Tate Winston. But he did like a dick joke that was like so bottom of the barrel, and they fucking lost it. And I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. You know, and then I'm like, it's because I'm a woman. And I just started like anything. I was so mad.
I'll do that all the time, especially in New York. I'm like, it's because I'm a straight white man. You guys hate me. You're not even giving me a chance.
Yeah, literally. I was so mad. And then like he came on stage, I was like, you fucking crushed, and I'm pissed. Like I don't even want to give you your flowers, but you crushed.
It's such that's why I love comedy, is because there's so many times where we'll be at a show and you're like, oh, this is going to go bad.
Yeah.
And then you, like you said, then you rip and you're like, I'm so good at this.
I'm the best.
Because I do Greenwich Village a lot, which if that room is full,
I
it's
love
a
Greenwich.
kill box.
It
It's like
is.
one of my favorite clubs.
For real, I feel like that because it's like dirty, it's dingy, it's the way comedy is supposed to be.
And it's so tight.
Yeah.
And the ceilings are low.
Yep.
And it's like I remember the tape that I was sending out forever to festivals and stuff was just a set that Drew threw me up on.
Yeah.
And it was like, bam, bam. Like I was doing setups and they were like, bah!
Yeah,
And
you
I
like
was-
feels like the room shakes.
Yeah.
When it's like a good show. Yeah.
And then sometimes you go and it's like 12 people
Yep.
and you're like, but still in my head, I'm like, I'm a fucking like I'm good at this.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know I'm good at this. I'm going to go up there and I'm going to rip. And then you just don't. And I remember that was the last like real set I did other than Mike's for a while.
Yeah.
And for like 2 weeks. And I just had to sit with the bomb for 2
With that
weeks.
stink on you,
And
yeah.
I was like, I think I'm going to move back home.
Yeah, you start really questioning. I'm like, what the? Like, if I have a really bad bomb, I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? I'm a grown fucking woman chasing this stupid fucking dream.
I'm like, I'm 37 with
Yeah.
a kid on the way, and I'm about to be married,
Yeah.
and I'm over here being like, oh, you guys like me?
Truly, it's such a mind fuck when you leave. I'll like be on the train and it's late, and then I have like my day job, and I'm like, I fucking need my life.
The worst thing for me is when you have like an okay set, and then because this just happened, and then you go to leave, and then there's like someone in the very back who's like, hey, that was a really great set.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't. Or someone goes, hey, I liked you, and you're like, oh, I don't like the tone of that. Yeah, what do you mean
How
by
about I
that?
fucking kill you?
Yeah, literally. Hey, they were bad, but I liked them. Like, actually, I thought they were okay. So now I'm overthinking it.
Or my favorite one, and I talk to every comic about this. When you record the set and you're on stage and you're like, I'm fucking crushing.
Yeah.
But then your phone's in the back of the room or your camera's in the back of the room and you listen back and you go, no. There's a lot more laughs. There's so many more laughs. Where are all the laughs?
That happens to me every time I record something. I'm like, I'm murdered. And then I listen back and I'm like, you could hear a pin drop. What happened? I'm like, am I delusional?
It's because the audience is facing forward and we put our cameras in
Right,
the
right,
back.
right,
And so it
exactly.
doesn't pick up any of the sound.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I love how I just mansplained that to you, even though you already knew. God, I'm a piece of shit. I'm so sorry, Sam.
No, it's
I'm
fine.
going to kill myself.
But no, it is.
That was for the audience.
Yeah,
That
was for
wasn't
you guys to understand how it works. 'Cause
I
we don't
know, you know.
Yeah.
Literally halfway through it, I was like, what are you doing? Of course she knows. And I was like, no, it's for them.
Yeah.
But I want to talk to you because I wanted to have you back on. Mountains of success, even since the last time you came on. Well, I mean,
Molehills.
but in all honesty, think about it. I always like to think about it this way. There are people that try this who are doing open mics, like where I was from in Florida. And like you're past like the New York Comedy. That's a huge fucking club.
Yeah. No, I'm super proud of
Like,
myself.
you know what I mean? Like you're doing the thing.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you because I was talking because you and JC are obviously an item. You're getting married.
We are.
So we did talk a little bit about this with him, but what has it been like as far as, because you were on a couple years ago,
Mm-hmm.
we talked about the first time you drank, and I'll never forget the story of your mom
Yeah, the best. Yeah. With the like your fucking slippers come.
coming around the corner when you were
Yeah.
throwing up.
Look
in the
at you.
bathroom.
Yeah.
You proud of yourself? I say that's like I joke quote a lot of people, but
Yeah.
that's like a podcast quote from my own show that I do all the time.
I love that.
Where
I love that. My
someone
mother
will
would
do
be
something
proud.
and I'll be like, "Are you proud of yourself? Look at you."
That's so funny.
But so since then, obviously a lot of things have happened. I wanted to ask you because again, we were talking to JC about it, but have you noticed this? Because this is something that I'm trying to aspire to, but it is one of those things where the more success you gain, it's almost like you do less spots, but for more, like valuing your time and things like that. Have you found that to be true in your case as well? Because JC was like, I'm doing a lot less, but
no,
still
absolutely.
making the same amount, but just a lot less.
Exactly, and it feels like it is like another mind fuck. But yeah, 100%. Because I also feel like I say no to things now that I wouldn't have said no to before. But it's like, especially now I live in Queens, like someone will ask me to do something so far in Brooklyn for free. And I'm like,
3 trains, 2 hours.
yeah,
and you're
I'm like, I'm not going to do that. Good. Yeah. And it's also like, And like some bar shows are great, but sometimes you go and there's 2 people there. I'm like, this is so not worth my time. I'm just not gonna do it. But yeah, I feel like it's definitely slowed down. But I do I do feel like the shows that I'm doing are of better quality.
Yeah.
So it slows down. It is a mind fuck because I'm like, do I stink? But I think. Because there has been people that have come up to me like, I want to book you for my show, but I think you'd say no, you know? And I'm like, no, book me for that show.
That happens on this show all the time.
Oh, really?
Where I'll meet comics and like I'll meet them at an open mic. And that's what I tell everybody is like, if I have someone on the show, it's either for 2 reasons. The main reason is because I have seen you perform and I think you're very funny, or I've seen whatever you do, whether it's a musician or an actor, and I'm like, oh, you got to come on the show.
Yeah.
The very small, I probably had maybe I can count on 2 hands how many times this has happened, but I will have people who have been on the show who I trust recommend someone. Yeah. And sometimes they come on and I'll just go into it blind.
Yeah.
And then afterwards I'll like look at their Instagram to like tag them and stuff. And I'm like, oh, I've made a terrible mistake.
Yeah, terrible mistake.
But I have had people be like, that I think are very funny, be like, oh yeah, I just never thought you'd want me on your pod. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, it's
like,
crazy.
You're hilarious.
Yeah, it's so when people are like, I didn't know if you would do my show, and it's like you run a show at New York Comedy Club. Why would I want to do your show?
You're not asking me to come to Tiny Cupboard.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, yeah.
No offense, but it's just out of the way from where we live.
So out of the way. But yeah, they don't book me, so fuck them. But yeah. So, but yeah, I'm like, people will say that. I'm like, why would you think I wouldn't want to do that?
Or like a lot of these comics that are buying their own comedy clubs now, and you're like, hey, how do I get on that? And they're like, oh, they didn't even think you wanted. Yeah, we'll put you up. And you're like, okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm like, why would you not just like think that I want to do this for the love of the game?
And it is one of those fun things where growing up playing sports, I was always very meritocracy. Like if you're good at something, you get something.
Yeah.
If you're good, you start. That's how it is.
Yeah, I think the same way.
Well, show business is so different because it's like you have to ask. Like I've talked to because working at the restaurant where I work, I've waited on a lot of huge comics and become friendly with some of them.
Yeah.
And a lot of them say the same thing. They're always just like, yeah, you have to ask.
Which I'm not used to.
And I'm like, I'm not going to.
Yeah, like, I know. It's really hard.
I will die alone in the corner before I fucking put my pride on the line.
I know. It's really something like
Which is so stupid.
It's so stupid, but it's also like it's humiliating for me. Like, because it's also like if you say no or you don't answer me or whatever, I'm gonna kill myself. I'm fragile.
The ghosting is hard.
Yeah.
Especially, I do it with the show because with stand up, it's very much like, all right, whatever. Like just on to like I try to be like Blinders.
Yeah.
But because this show is mine and I take it so personally, I'll like wait on a big comic and I'll just happen to drop the podcast because that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, you have to.
And then they'll always be like, oh, that sounds great. Like, I'd love to do that.
Yeah.
And then I'll DM them and they'll be like, oh, my schedule's kind of crazy. And then you DM them again like 2 months later and then it's seen but just no response.
Oh
and
God,
I'm like,
crushing.
I'm like, oh, that's weird. When I was giving you free salad and sides,
Yeah.
you were all about
You're all
it.
about it. Yeah,
and now you just don't even want to talk to me.
Yeah, forget me when you want a steak.
And it's it is very, and it's the same thing with shows where the people are like, well, if you want to get past at a club, you have to ask the booker. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think I'm going to.
It's there is like it's hard for me, right? Because it's like I want to get where I want to get because like we're older in this game, so it's like I'm not trying to play this like slow burn game, but also I'm like, there are people that have been quiet and still get things. I'm like, why do I have to now put my tail between my legs to ask these things? It's so uncomfortable.
Well, and there is, because I've had it, and I'm sure you have the same experience to a certain degree, but I've had modicums of success doing it the way I want to do it.
Exactly.
Which is like just be in the back of the room, laugh at jokes you think are funny, and everyone knows my laugh because I love comedy. And when I go to a show, if something's funny, I'll laugh.
I'm the same way.
And it's like, just be you. And again, like one of my best friends who's I tour with now was like, hey, you should feature for me.
Yeah.
So like things have happened because of it, but it's also like, you look at some of these lineups and you're like, what am I doing wrong?
Please. I think that all the time. I look at lineups and I'm like, I'm so lost. Like, I'm like, how am I not even up for this? Like, this.
I went to a New Faces audition at the stand.
Yeah.
And I looked at the lineup because I was like, I used to hang out there all the time. I don't hang out there as much just because I end up at McDougal a lot more because there's just more clubs down there.
There's just more clubs. Yeah.
But I used to hang out there all the time, and I remember it was last year. It was the New Faces, and I looked at the lineup. I didn't recognize, and I am a student of comedy.
Me too.
I did not recognize a single name.
I know.
And I saw them, and I was like, I felt like there's a great line in one of my favorite movies, Starship Troopers, where he's like, they look around and he goes, who are all these kids?
That. So I'm so over it too, because it's like we're in a new time, right? There's social media.
Yeah.
Like I understand, like people like our age used to like not partake in like pop culture or anything relevant anymore. Like they used to just get married, have kids, and they didn't,
That was it. Yeah.
They didn't intake anything. But it's not that way anymore. And it's like, why does anyone our age want to watch like a 20-year-old who doesn't know anything about life do jokes? Like they're great for their demographic, but there's a space for us.
Yeah.
And it's like the powers that be just haven't moved along with it. They still are like, no, we have to get these young kids who are like,
They're children.
They're children. And it's like, then you watch them and you're like, I'm so confused.
Because one of the things that makes me laugh the hardest is when people talk about real stuff,
Me
like
too.
in their life, which is why, again, I'm a big fan of yours and JC's, and like Michael Rowland has a bunch of great bits
God, I
about
love
when
him.
he used to like get after it.
Oh my
it's
God, I
so
love him.
Funny,
Yeah.
he's the best. But like that's the kind of comedy I like. Is very real. Like I'm
Same.
talking about my life.
Yeah.
The whole like broad stroke, especially as comics, you can see it coming from a mile
away.
You'll hear a setup and you go, small dick.
Yep.
And then they'll get through the whole joke and they're like, but I got a tiny dick.
Yeah.
And the crowd's like, bah. And you're like, this is
what you're doing.
this is where we are.
I'm so over it.
And we see it all the time, especially on social media, because you'll see these viral videos and you're like, what?
Yeah. There's a group of guys. I don't know their names. It's not my algorithm, but JC showed me it. And there's this group of guys.
It's his algorithm.
Yeah, it's his algorithm. They just like go to open mics and they bomb on purpose and they record themselves. And then they have like 300,000 followers now. And it's because they're doing bad jokes. And that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I want to kill myself.
That's-
because I'm pouring into my craft. And I'm like so particular about what I put out.
100%.
And these guys are just like making a mockery, and they're huge now. They're like they have management. They're getting all
They're
these
touring,
Yeah,
yep.
they're getting all this opportunity, and I'm like, because they're bad. That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
They're not. I'm not even saying that like from a hater standpoint. They're bad
On
and-
purpose.
On purpose.
Yeah.
And they're getting all these things. I'm so confused by it. But similar to what you were saying, JC hosted the Netflix auditions last year, right? New York hit him up to host it. And we were like, this is amazing. Like they'll get to see you. JC crushed. And now people are doing like 5-minute sets. I didn't know. I only knew one person on the lineup, and that was Phil Duckett. And he was the only grown person on that lineup. Everybody else, I'm like, can you even drink? Like I'm not even kidding. It looked like they were, it looked like they were wearing like backwards hats and the thing. Like, I'm like, are you trying to look like a child? Because you are one. They all went up there.
Gen Alpha in this
It was
bitch.
crazy. They were children. Everyone. I didn't know anybody that was on that lineup. And they all went up. I mean, some of them did fine. Most of them didn't. And then like afterwards, like, we're trying to now speak up for ourselves. Me and JC, like, So, yeah. So like the booker of the Netflix thing is there. So I'm like, you have to go talk. You have to be like, because you crushed.
Yeah.
Like crazy that like Abby that used to work at New York Comedy Club, like she's like one of the bookers that came out. She was like, I mean, I can't believe how well he did. And then
That's always my favorite too, because I've had that where people,
Yeah.
like I've gotten off stage and then someone's like, hey, so-and-so texted me that you fucking.
It's the best.
Like you were crushing so hard that they sent me a text like,
Yeah.
Brennan's actually destroying right
it's
now.
the best. So like he goes and talks to the Netflix booker, and the guy he was just like, oh yeah, and like kind of just brushed him off. And I was like, you're joking. And then I don't know who they fucking gave it to.
Because it's not about, I
It's
don't
about
wanna
who
do-
you
yeah.
know and all and how you're plugged in, and we're
Yeah.
just not plugged in.
Yeah, and that's the other problem too. Is like speaking of not plugged in, I paid so much money to get these lights and all the equipment, and they don't work.
I know, same. I think we have the same ones. I think we have literally
The
the same
Amazon
ones.
ones?
Yeah, the Amazon ones, absolutely.
It wasn't even the lights that were expensive. It was the stands and then the cables
everything.
that I was like,
yeah,
this will work.
And then the cables, like if you move them the wrong way, they just.
Oh, it's just out.
Yeah.
But it is because everyone's like, oh, there's no more gatekeepers. That's good. There's no more gatekeepers, and it's like. Yeah, but there actually is.
There
The
is.
algorithm is now just the gatekeeper.
Oh my God.
It's AI. Because I have bits that have done very well in a room.
Yeah.
I've cut them with excruciating amount of detail
Yeah.
and labor and love, and they bomb on the internet.
Absolutely.
And I'm like, I'll send it to people individually, and they'll be like, this is so funny. And I'm
Yeah.
like, so I know it's there.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I can't just get
The algorithm is so crazy because like when the algorithm's not on my side, I mean, I'll have videos that will only get 25 likes and I have like 30,000 followers. It doesn't make sense. And then I'm like, I'm not funny, all these things. But then once I get on the right side of the algorithm, I'll repost that video and it'll do absolute numbers.
This is what I do on YouTube.
And I'm like, this is so fucking frustrating.
I do this on YouTube all the time. If I post a video and if it doesn't have over, the podcast clips are different because I put one up every day.
Yeah.
But if I post a stand-up video, and because sometimes I'll get blackballed, like just zero views, and I'm
zero
like,
views doesn't make sense.
well, I've got a few thousand followers or subscribers on YouTube. That's impossible.
Yeah.
That's just not.
It doesn't make sense.
Mathematically doesn't make sense. So then I'll take it down and I'll wait a few hours. Like I'll put it up before work. 0 views or 3 views. I'll pull it down after work around 10:30, 11. I'll post it. 2,200 views within seconds.
It doesn't make any sense.
Oh, fuck you.
It's so frustrating, and it's like we work so hard. There's so many times like I'm cutting up clips or I'm cutting up like sketches and working so hard, and then you put it out and no one sees it.
Well,
and
you do the very funny front facing.
Yeah, that's my new thing.
But you do like the full body.
I do a full body now.
Because I just do it where I'm walking and talking.
Yeah.
You're like in the camera.
I tried everything.
I love it.
That's because literally I did the face ones and they weren't giving. I'm like, I gotta try something else.
Yeah.
So I'm like just trying it. Like I'm literally throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks, and that's been sticking. So I'm like, okay, I have to do that. Yeah.
You're like, listen to me.
Yeah, true. I'm like yelling at the camera, and now I'm doing like full body, and now I'm getting like girls like, "What's your outfits?" I'm sending outfit details. It's like whatever, man.
You figured it out.
Yeah, I figured it out. I'm like, and at the end of the day, it's so frustrating because like social media makes you choose like a niche that you have to do, and it's nice now that like now it's like, oh, I actually do like clothes and like giving just like now people are asking like, oh, okay, it's nice to be able to do different things.
I thought for sure. Because my entire life I've embedded in my sobriety, which I do as like a fail-safe for me because it's like I have no desire to drink. I've been sober for a long time, but it's also like even if I have really shitty days and I'm like, maybe I will just have a drink. It's like you can't.
You can't.
Your
This
entire
is your whole
life
thing. Yeah.
is embedded. But I thought like, oh, that'll be like my thing. It's like I'll be like the guy who was a psycho alcoholic who almost died. And I've got the arrest record to prove it and the hospital records and all that stuff. And it's like, and then I turned my life around and I was like, that's inspiring. It's redemption. But the algorithm's like, nah, we're okay.
Yeah, which
and I'm
is
like,
crazy.
But this fits every fucking box that you have.
Especially now, I feel like sobriety is such a big thing.
Yeah.
Like Gen Z's not even drinking anymore. It's like you would think they would push it.
And they just do not give a shit. And I'm like, how? I remember when I wrote my one-man show, I typed the whole thing out and I sent it to a bunch of like book agents.
Yeah.
Because I was like, there's so many like, oh, this is inspiring stories. And every single one of them was like, nah, this isn't what we're looking for. And I'm like, but I've read like some of the stuff you've published. This is the same thing, if not better.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? This is exactly what you're looking for.
It's so frustrating.
But it's all about like the who you know aspect.
It is who
of
you
it.
know, and I don't know anybody.
No,
I don't have any connections to anything. That's what makes it so hard. But like, it does make like the success feel better when you do get something like
when someone reaches out. I'm kind of like, yeah, I'm the fucking I'm doing it.
I'm doing the thing. Yeah. Like last year, JC got like Time Out's comic to watch.
Yeah, I saw
They
that.
reached out to him through Instagram. He doesn't have a manager. He didn't put in for that. They just reached out to him, and they were like, yeah, we asked around a bunch of clubs, and they were like, this guy works really hard. And I was like, wow, doesn't that feel good?
Yeah.
Like all the hard work you think no
When
one's
the hymns
watching.
thing too?
Yeah, like when no one's watching, you think no one's watching.
Yeah.
People are watching.
I have to remind myself that all the time where
Yeah.
I'm like, I'll have like a, just a bad day, whether it's posting or work.
Yeah.
Because, we all still work day jobs.
Exactly.
And
Oh
like,
God.
and sometimes I'll be like, this is all pointless. But then something that I do that is actually very therapeutic, which is psychotic that I'm saying that, but I will log into YouTube and I'll look at the real-time stats for just my channel at that time. And it'll be like 400 views. And I'm like, oh, I haven't posted anything today. Like all this other shit got like no views, but people are still watching.
Yep.
Like somebody's watching.
Yep. That's now what I do now on social media is like if I post something that doesn't do so well, I go and I look at like if I got a follow from it.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, well, they got 2 followers. It wasn't for nothing.
Yeah.
And it's
Somebody
like
saw it.
Somebody saw it. And I'm big about practicing little wins.
Mm-hmm.
So anything like I will, because if you don't, I feel like this business will really just like suck you dry.
Yeah.
And so like anything. And like, I feel like I had to teach that to JC because he's like, I feel like in the beginning, like of comedy, we were getting past at clubs and doing all these things. And now like, it's slowed down. Like
Yeah, because you guys came out like a shot.
We came out like pretty hard, and I think that's more like to do with our age. Like I'm not playing this little game where like the young comics, they're gonna get it eventually, but they're just fucking around, and like I don't have the time.
I know people who will like go to mics and they just hang out, but that's all they do, and I'm like, which I totally get, but it's also like, Yeah, but you're not even trying to.
Yeah.
Like, I have a hard time asking, but I'll still like. I'm not gonna do nothing.
Nothing. Yeah, exactly.
Like, nah, I just like to hang out with my friends at these mics in Brooklyn, and we all like shoot the shit and go to our vegan. And I'm like, all right, whatever, dude.
Yeah,
like,
that's the thing. Also, like something I feel like for me, I got into comedy just because it was like, you know, in my bones and I felt like I had to pursue it. I didn't come in to like make friends. Making friends is a plus.
Yeah.
I'm not like against it, but I didn't come in here to be like, I just want to hang with my friends. It's like, I that's what I spent all of my life doing. You know what I mean? I'm like, I wasted so many years just hanging out that I'm like, it's been a plus. Like I didn't expect it. I got into comedy, be like, I'll just do my thing and like, I'll go home. And then meeting cool people has been so nice.
Yeah.
But that's not why I'm here. And so many people I talk to, it's like, I'm like, oh, you're here for just the hang?
Well, yeah.
Which is crazy to me.
That's an insane, like I do a lot of hanging, but again, it's because of what we're talking about. It's because you need to meet people and like go out there.
Exactly.
And I'm by nature like a very, like I try to like, I don't know, like I do like the sense of community that's built.
Me too.
But
I love
the thing
it.
that's incredibly frustrating is like if I'm at a mic and like I'm laughing and then I go up and nobody, like everyone's just like on their phones and doing shit.
So rude.
In my head, I'm like, oh, I'm not fucking laughing for you anymore.
Yeah.
Like I'll stifle my laughter before I let you know that I
feel
approve
the
of a
same
joke
way.
because it's like, fuck you.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's like we're not all best friends, but I'm very. It's weird. Like I'm a loyal person by almost by default.
Yeah,
because
me
it's
too.
like especially like you, JC. There's some people who were here, Jared Waters, like
Yeah,
people
the best.
who were above me when I first got here, but still treated me like an equal.
Because we're people.
Well,
Like,
and
who gives
that's
a shit?
and that's because I know people who were at the mics and then blew up for whatever reason. Probably not comedy related. But then they'll still come to the mics on occasion. They're like, "Oh, I'm too cool for this," and
I
you're
hate
like,
that.
First of all, I will end you.
Yeah, I will literally.
Second of all, who the fuck are you?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Unless you're like Dave Chappelle walking into a mic,
Yeah.
I don't want to fucking hear it.
I also just like people that I know, like I'm nice to everybody,
Yeah.
right? And I also feel like I'm like you, I'm loyal to like a fault, but also I'll check you if you need to be checked.
Yeah.
And like I feel like some people get followers online and they're like they think they're the shit, and it's like, are they here? Are they gonna have your back when I punch you in the face?
Yeah.
Because don't disrespect me. Like I'm very
I have
nice.
verbatim said this at mics and a couple times at a show. Like if someone's ripping on me, like if I do a set and then I come off and then they start, it's fine if you want to rip on me, especially if we're friends. I don't give a
course.
shit.
I love it.
If you come after my material and I don't know you,
Yeah, I don't like that.
I literally have said out loud, "This is real life. Be careful."
Be careful.
And people are all like, whoa.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no. We're not in a movie. This isn't Crashing.
Yeah.
I have been I've gotten in way too much shit to
Yeah.
get talked down to by a 22-year-old who doesn't have enough material. They got to come after me.
Exactly.
Like, I'll fucking end you.
Literally,
dude.
I like look at people. I'm like, oh, you think this is a joke?
Yeah.
Like,
You're
I'll,
I'm from New York.
Yeah, I'm from New York. I'm raised in the '90s, baby.
Yeah.
I'll fuck you up.
JC,
I don't give
hold
a-
my earrings.
Yeah, literally. I'm like, this is crazy, and it's also that thing too, where it's like, you're a 25-year-old that doesn't know anything. You've never been punched in the face. I'll be the first. I'll show you how it's done.
I say this on my sports podcast all the time because athletes love to talk shit, and we always talk about you can tell who's been punched in the face and who hasn't.
Absolutely.
Because it's one thing to talk shit. It's one thing to be completely out of pocket.
Exactly, because for me, I'm also like, I love like ripping on people that
Yeah.
are my friends. It's my love language.
Mm-hmm.
Like, rip on me, I'll rip on you. But when it's like someone I don't know, and then you know that they're coming from like a negative place, I'm like, oop. And then it's also like, hey, yeah. It's also just like, I'm gonna win. Like, if you want to go back and forth, I'm gonna win. Like, I've never lost. I don't lose. I was the person at the lunch table.
Yeah.
You don't want it with me.
Well, and this is what we do now.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes Tracy's will bring her friends over, and sometimes their husbands will be like trying to rag on me.
Yeah.
And a lot of times in my head, I have to be like, don't do
Don't
it.
do
Don't do it.
it.
Because I
Yeah.
will destroy you.
It's also, I get a lot of like dudes that'll try to like,
Oh, yeah.
you know, and it's like, I'm still gonna win. You know what I mean? I do this every single day.
I couldn't imagine, especially before you met JC, like being out in the dating world and like having to deal with it because guys were probably like, "Oh, you do a comedy? I'm
Yeah.
so funny."
People always told me I was funny, and it's like, yeah, they lied, babe.
Try.
Try me. That was big on dates. Like guys would try to like impress me by trying to be funnier than me, or try to be like, "Oh, you're not funny. Women aren't funny," and it's like, right.
That's not gonna work.
Yeah, I'm never gonna see you again.
That's
You know?
also something that's incredibly. I don't know what the word is, but it's an interesting thing because there's obviously comedy's more male dominated.
Mm-hmm.
It's predominantly male, but there's so many bad male comics.
Thank you.
And I know so many funny women, like that idea where people are like, women aren't funny.
It's
I've
crazy.
always been like, I know some of the funniest people in the world, and they're women.
Yeah.
You, Mary Santora, Caitlin Palufo,
Yeah.
Emma Willman. Like, I can go on and on and on.
Exactly. I'm always so confused by that.
And it's like, yeah, I've seen women bomb.
Of course.
But I've also seen dudes bomb a lot more.
And they take it worse.
Yeah.
And they get mad. And it's like, yeah, I feel like women usually bomb a lot more gracefully.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like anytime, or my favorite, if you like on the internet, like now JC is noticing it because I'm posting more, like my 2026 goal. And he'll read my comments and he's like, dude, being a woman is insane. Because the amount of comments I get like from men, like women aren't funny. And like women only talk about their pussies. And it's like, have you been to a comedy show? Men only talk about their dicks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And also, I'm talking about Bad Bunny. Like,
What are you even talking about? Like, I don't even think I have a joke about my vagina. You know what I mean? I'm like, huh? Like, it's so weird to me. Like, I just don't get. It's so exhausting.
Well, and that's one of my big things too. Is I was always, I'm just not a big like talk about sex guy.
Yeah.
I was raised by around my sisters. Like I was always very empathetic. Like I'm not like when I even played sports and guys would be like, "You fucked that bitch last night." I'm like,
Yuck. Yeah, we made
stop
love.
talking like that. We made sweet, sweet, passionate love until the daylight. And then I held her and asked her hopes. I used to go to strip clubs when I got my settlement. I would go to strip clubs and I'd pay for dances just so I could talk to the women in the back.
Absolutely hysterical.
It's fucking sad, but it's also funny.
I love that. It's like men will do anything but go to therapy.
But it's also very, can I write that? Can I have that?
Yeah, that's it. You can take that.
But it's also very true.
Brandon, that's the funniest thing I've ever heard. Because I just wanted to talk to them.
But I say all that to be like, I was never that guy.
Yeah.
So I don't talk about sex on stage.
Yeah.
Like the hump in the stool, my dick this, my dick that. And I'm always like, live a life, have an experience.
Yo, it's
what are we doing?
One of the biggest pops I ever got was I went up after a comic that was humping the stool for multiple jokes. Like that was his punchline for at least 3 or 4 jokes.
Crushing.
No, he didn't actually,
good.
which
Thank
was
God.
so great. And so like I went up on stage and I literally like interviewed the stool. I was like, "Are you okay? Did you consent?" And like people were like dying because it was the fact that after the first 2 times that he did it.
It got nothing.
And then he continued.
Double down.
Then there was a point where he was just thrusting for so long, nothing being said, just thrusting on the stool. And I'm like, are we okay? What the fuck is going on? And it was so awkward. And it was just like, it was so funny, like going on stage and like talking to the stool, like, girl, what the fuck was that?
It is so... It's just fascinating that people... And I understand it's the most common thing we have as humans is sex.
Yeah, sex, yeah.
I totally get it. And it makes a lot of sense. But man or woman, excuse me, I don't care. But if your entire set is about sex, like I'm
not into it.
And I can, from an intellectual exercise, I can look at it and go, okay, I understand the setup. I understand the punch. I understand the premise. I get why it's funny to people. But at the same time, I'm like, I just don't, I don't find it funny.
Yeah. Like, I feel like I have like one joke, but I feel like when it's a whole set, it's also like I feel like you're alienating a lot of the crowd.
Well, yeah, and that's what I mean too, is because like I have that bit about butt stuff where I talk about me being into butt stuff.
Yeah.
But again, I do that because it's a huge misdirect.
Yeah.
To look at me, a dude who played football from the South,
course.
who's married to a woman who's having a baby, but also be like, but I like stuff done to my butt.
Yeah,
Like it's a huge misdirect.
Yeah, exactly. And we all have those things. Like you said, it's something we all have in common. But like I've sat at a show where it's like, especially you go to New York Comedy Club, it's a 20-minute set, and it's just about sex, and people start getting uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And it's like, you can't really blame them. It is an uncomfortable thing after a while, especially people from all walks of life are there. People are there with their families.
Parents,
Yeah, it's really uncomfortable. And then you also notice like the people who don't have anything else in their bag, because like sometimes you go to a show, there's a family sitting in the front row.
I had that happen at New York Comedy Club.
Had that happen so many times at New York Comedy Club, and I'm like, good luck. This was a really poor decision, especially to sit in the front. But here goes, you know.
I walked in one time because I do open with like my stuff. I'm not saying my stuff is clean. I just don't talk about sex. Like I still talk about
my stuff's not clean.
Yeah, drugs and alcohol and like my life and like dumb shit. But like I power through the butt stuff bit because it gets such a reaction from people that it's like I'm not gonna not do it.
Yeah.
But I also get uncomfortable.
So do I. I won't make eye contact.
Yeah,
it's so uncomfortable.
I look up like this.
Yeah.
But I have like New York Comedy Club one time I did a show and there was a mom and her son sitting in the front, but it was one of those things where it's like, hey, the bookers in the back fucking kill.
You have to.
So I was like, I have to do the butt stuff bit. And I looked right at him when I did it because I was, your brain is scared. You immediately locked into what you're scared of.
Absolutely.
And I locked in and I did it and I fumbled it and then it was silence and I was like, you didn't even have to do it.
Yeah.
You would have been better off just not doing it.
I know. I'm like Stevie Wonder when I start doing that and I see a kid. I'm like, you're looking everywhere but that kid. Yeah. I'm like, this is such a nightmare. But like sometimes like, because especially if I'm hosting and I do crowd work and there's someone says something that I can like do a joke for, because I'll do crowd work when I host, but I like to do jokes to get them ready. This is how the show goes. This is the format. So like if someone says something and I have a joke for it, I'm like, oh, but it might have a little dirty like thing to it, or it's not clean or whatever. I'm like, well, man, you came to a comedy club. You know what I mean?
You set it up.
You say, what am I supposed to do? You know what I mean? I have to go with my comedic instincts. Like I can't not tell this joke.
Yeah.
So I'll do it, and I'm just, now I've like found ways to like include, like I'll look at them and I'll say something that like whatever it gets a pop.
Yeah.
But it's like it is very. I remember the first time I ever did, and I was like, I want to die. I'm also like raised a certain way.
Yep.
Like sometimes too, like worse than a kid is like an older person, like much older, where I'm like, I'm supposed to respect you, and like I'm not supposed to be talking about this. It makes me want to die.
I did a show once. God, where was it? It was that new club that just opened up in Times Square. I forget the name of it. Comedy Village.
Oh, Comedy Village.
So I was doing a show there upstairs, and the host, I was like fourth, and it was a great show.
Yeah.
And I did really well, but I remember, because, you do these shows and like, especially if people are there, like a manager or a booker, they're like, hey, do your tightest, whatever, 10, 12, 5, whatever it is. And of course that joke is in it. And I remember the comics before me were asking a lot of like, where are you from? And it was like a family over here from the Midwest, an older couple here visiting from like out of the country. And I was like, you can't like, and I started doing that thing where I was thinking about it.
Yeah,
I was like,
you get you in your head.
I was like, you can't do it. And it's like, yeah, but you have to do it, because it's like, if I take it out, then the setup for the other bits just feels false.
Exactly.
I have a whole chunk about my sobriety, and that's like the linchpin, the key point in the middle to get a big pop and then kind of come out of it. And I was like, you have to. And I got in my own head, and then I did it. And the older couple who's over here, the guy just went, ugh. When I said, because I go, I'm going to be very vulnerable right now. Like I set it up to get you on my side.
Yeah.
Like, this is hard for me to say. I'm going to, and the audience is like, what is it?
Yeah.
And then I say, I'm really into butt stuff. I like stuff done to my butt. And the older guy just went, ugh. And I was like, no.
Yeah.
And then I pivot and look over at the family, and the dad was just kind of like, and I was like, fuck.
Yeah, you get in your head. I tried not, honestly. Like
everyone else is laughing, by the way.
Oh.
And I'm like, I have like a group of housewives over here, like, yes!
We like butt stuff too.
And I'm just focused on the two groups where I'm like, you fucking ruined their New York trip.
Absolutely. Anytime I'm performing, and if like the crowd's going great, I will lock eyes with the person who hates me, and that's the only person I'll think about, and it's the only
person you try to get a laugh from. And then if they laugh, nobody else says, you go, got him.
Who cares? Yeah.
I win.
Yeah. Crazy. That actually literally happened to me like 2 weeks ago. There was like an old dude in the front, and he did not like anything I was doing. And then I finally like riffed on him, and he started hysterical laughing, and I was like, it's all been worth it. I don't give a fuck about anything else. Yeah, I did it. I'm on top of the world.
And everyone else is just kind of looking around. You're like, no.
No, I don't give a fuck about you guys.
Yeah. I had you.
Yeah, you were eating out of the palm of my hand.
That is a fun thing, and I've talked about this a lot on the podcast, but that is a fun thing I like to do with Tracy's family.
Yeah.
Like, because she has some family members that, aren't super stoked that I do comedy. And I will do the thing where I'll set them up, and I'll set them up from like 10 sentences before.
Yeah.
And then I'll tag it, and then they laugh, and Tracy will be like, see, he is funny. And I'll be like, babe, I set that up like 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Remember when I dropped the fork in the kitchen?
It was a bit. Yeah.
This was all planned.
Yeah. That's so funny.
I want to ask you, so obviously we just had the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of your stories. Were you stoked for the halftime show, the Bad Bunny?
Super stoked. I'm wearing his merch.
There we go.
Yes.
And JJ Watt said this on Twitter, but I felt the same way. It's like, did I understand any of it? No.
Was
it a vibe? 1,000%.
1,000%. I saw someone tweet, they were like, people that are like, I just didn't get it. It's like, just say you don't like bad bitches.
Yeah.
Just say that's just what it is.
It was so fun.
It was so much fun. And it's just like, I mean, again, I grew up in New York, so like Puerto Rican culture, I am Puerto Rican, but like it's just everywhere. Like I don't know, for me, like seeing people being upset, I'm not familiar with that. Like I grew up with people of all different races, and everybody like was drinking coquito, and everybody, you know what I mean? Like I grew up around Polish people, and I was having pierogi. Like we all like just dove into everybody's culture. So seeing people be upset, I was like, I'm so confused, but I was like, I'm so happy for people to see like what Puerto Ricans are really about. We are a vibe. We are a party all the time. Like whether it's a baptism, a first birthday, we are getting lit and we're dancing.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah. So you guys were at the Super Bowl where you, was it, because I heard a lot of people saying this, and they're like, YouTube TV like froze because there was
did
so
it?
much traffic. Yeah. And
Oh my gosh.
So for you, were you like excited? Were you like, oh no, like talking to JC? Were you like, no, we're going somewhere to watch
Absolutely.
this with
We went
the family?
to we went to his friend's house in Whitestone, and it was just like all the same people we went to Puerto Rico with because we went and saw Bad Bunny.
Yeah.
So it was everybody we went with. Everybody had the merch on. We had it set up like
His trying to figure out which merch he was gonna. That video was so funny.
and that's literally what he was doing. And she's like, "What do I wear? What do I wear?" I was like, "You know,
He
he
had to go
can't
on.
see you." Yeah. But he's not going to see you, so it doesn't even matter. But yeah, we like literally everyone went to Puerto Rico with was there. It was such a vibe. We had like it all set up like the casita that like Cardi B was in and everything. Like we had it set up like that. We had an absolute blast. Like while the game was on, we still had Bad Bunny playing in the back. Like
that's awesome.
It was the best. It was incredible.
It was really because that's something I've learned living in New York I've only been here for 5 years, but that's something I've learned being up here is just, and to be honest with you, being a guy from the South, the thing that kind of was the tipping point for me to be like, oh, everyone's just kind of around each other.
Yeah.
Was seeing people that aren't black use the N-word just frivolously.
Yeah.
But I say that to say like that in my head, I was like, oh, and nobody's getting offended. Nobody cares. I was like, oh, everyone just kind of integrated in themselves.
Yeah.
Which I guess is kind of a negative way to like see like, oh, there really is a lot of diversity.
Yeah.
But for me, like, cause like where I'm from in the South, it's like,
you can't.
Nobody.
Yeah. You can't.
I don't care if you're Dominican, Cuban, Asian.
Yeah.
You don't say it.
No, here is
I moved to New
crazy.
York and everybody.
Yeah, here is nuts. I am happily on record that I don't say it, and I never have. But yeah, people, it's crazy.
I was like,
because we all grow up together.
That's
so
what I
hear
mean,
you
though.
Say
it's
it,
very
and
much integrated into the culture where it's not like an offense. It's just like saying I had
it's like bro.
Yeah, I was gonna say I had a comic friend of mine who's I think he's Puerto Rican he's Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
He went out to LA and he was like, yeah, you can't do it on the West Coast either.
No.
He's like, I realized they say homie instead of saying the other word because I was saying the other word and people were like, yo, chill the fuck out or you're gonna get us killed.
Yeah, you can't. The N-word does not cross state lines.
Yeah.
You can't.
It doesn't cross city lines.
Yeah,
It's just a New York City.
It is just the city. It is just the city. And like now I feel like people are starting to be like, actually, don't say that. But yeah, it's like people, a clip of Fat Joe got like popular and he's saying the N-word and people are like, this guy, whatever. And people are like, babe, he's from New York.
Yeah,
it's not the same thing.
But that was definitely the opening of my eyes moment where I was like, oh, everyone's just around each other. All like nobody sees anything except.
Yeah, it's just like you grow up in the same place, you have the same struggles. You say it like where we are now in Astoria. It's like a very brown neighborhood, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like you have like Middle Eastern people, and you know the teenagers are saying the N-word. And, like me and JC will pass, we'll hear, we're like, oh. We're like, oh, I don't. That's crazy, but like, it just is. I definitely like my brother, everybody I knew grew up saying it. It just never rolled off the tongue for me. So it's just not, you know what I'm saying?
I say that too. I want to pivot back to what you were saying about your experience. Though, it was like you grew up in a culture where it was very like everyone's here.
Everyone's here. It's just like, what are we even talking about? Like, and
to see how the rest, not the rest. I don't want to generalize, but to see how certain pockets of the country reacted.
It's crazy to me.
And I was like, because this whole idea of like getting rid of the DEI and all that stuff, it's like just whitewashing, which is very apparent.
It's so weird. And there's also like the idea that America is white. It's not. That's the whole thing. They're like, no, it has to be back to America. And I'm like, and we are.
It was we got found by a Spaniard who was commissioned by Italy. Like, what are we talking about?
I'm so confused. That's why I'm like,
or excuse me, an Italian who's commissioned by Spain. But it was like, that had nothing to do with England.
Nothing, exactly. I'm so confused by it. And it's also like, I am of like the way that I was raised and like being raised here. Anytime someone's like telling me about their culture, I'm so excited to learn about it. Like that's why I love traveling. I love to see how people, I never like try to go to tourist spots. I like to see how people live. Yeah. Cause it's just like how you get closer to people. And I feel like that's what like breaks racism. It's like, I want to see how you live. And then you start realizing, oh, we have a lot in common actually. It's just like people that were so against it. I'm like, man,
I had this happen,
what are we talking about?
and this hurt my soul. But I had this happen at the restaurant because I didn't react the way I wanted to react. But like I obviously work with a lot of people who of different races and genders and all sorts of stuff. And one of my very close friends at the restaurant, he's normally my server assistant while we work. He's my support staff. I love him to death. He's the best one there. And we had this white woman from Long Island with her two friends, just a fucking feeding a pig slop, as we said earlier. Like just a terrible person. And I remember she got a bottle of water and he poured her water and she called me over and I said, yes, ma'am. And she takes the bottle out, takes her napkin and starts wiping it. And she goes, you should really tell your man not to hold it so high. It's a little too close to the lip. He should hold it from the base. I mean, it doesn't offend me, but it's probably going to offend someone else. And she puts it back. I was like, oh, this bitch is racist as fuck. And then I walked away because I was like, maybe I'm misreading it. Maybe she's just a germaphobe. And then he did it again. Again, grabbing it by the middle, not like grabbing it by the top, first of all.
I've never seen anyone grab it by the top.
And second of all, you don't put your mouth on it. Like,
yeah, exactly.
And then he did it again. And then she did this. Like, for those of you listening, she did a finger wag, like, come here.
Yuck.
And I came over and she goes, did you talk to your man? And I said, yes, ma'am. I told him because I did. I was like, hey, just grab by the base next time. She goes, she pulls it out again, wipes it off, and she goes, he did it again. I know he's not going to do it a third time because I talked to him. And she put it back. And so badly, Sam, I wanted to be like, get out of my restaurant.
Yeah.
And I know my managers would have my back because
of course.
but I was just like, I have a kid on the way. What do I do? I don't want to risk getting fired.
Of
course. I talked to him, and obviously he's upset. And I was like, even in New York City, this shit still happens.
Well, because she's from Long Island. Long Island is a very specific place. And I
was just like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
It's crazy. I'm not so familiar with Long Island, but JC's from Long Island, right? So he has been telling me, and then like his friends are like from Long Island, like his friend Artie is from Long Island and she's black, and she's like, she's from like a black town. And she's like, it's super segregated. Like there's literally like lines where like, you know, this neighborhood will be really nice, and then there'll be like a line, and then the street is different. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And he's like, it's where JC's from, Valley Stream. That was like the start of the white flight. So it was like a white neighborhood, and then people started of color started moving in, and all the white people moved further out into Long Island. Yeah. So like he grew up in a really diverse area. And it's just, that's not normally what happens on Long Island, but white people moved out now.
It's crazy because it's like 20 minutes away from the city.
Where he grew up, his street is here, and then this is Queens. It's across the street is Queens. And people were like, not in Long Island. It's like, babe, then you should have moved a little further fucking out. Go out more east.
Go to Colorado.
Yeah, it's just so weird to me. I just don't get it at all. It's so corny. I can't get behind it. So I just can't.
You love the Bad Bunny halftime show.
I love the Bad Bunny halftime show.
Do you speak Spanish?
I can understand it, but
I joked with JC about this.
No. I'm Puerto Rican from New York. I don't speak Spanish. That's crazy.
He has that hilarious bit about that too.
Yeah, so don't. Yeah, and also like I'm half Italian, so also that's another thing too. It's like I grew up with like my cultures coming together. Like I just don't get it.
Yeah,
it's so corny. It's like, what do you mean you don't want to know another culture? That's so
it blows
insane
my mind.
To me. Yeah, like even if you're not from here, like I know some people that have moved here that are like like I love this, and they like throw themselves into the culture of other people's culture, and it's fun. Like to not also like you watched anyone who I saw a couple of like famous people that like, you know, were annoying, Bravo celebrities that were like, I hated it. It was awful. It was the worst one. I'm just like, say you have no rhythm without saying you have no rhythm. You know what I mean? Say you only use salt to season your food. It
was so, I kept getting up because I watched a lot of Bad Bunny because I wasn't familiar because, you know, I listen to a lot of the stuff I listen to. Especially like I only listen to music when I work out. I mainly listen to podcasts, and the music I listen to is very aggressive.
Yeah.
So it's either like Tupac, like that kind of like Eminem, like that very much like that's why I fucked you a bitch, you fat motherfucker.
Exactly.
And I'm in there like, I
get it.
It's either that or it's like a lot of like I do listen to like some breakup songs because then I get hyped.
Same.
So I just didn't know Bad Bunny, and then I was watching a lot of it obviously before the Super Bowl, and he has that move, the thrust,
where he thrusts,
and and obviously I would be thrusting too if I had what Bad Bunny has. But during the halftime show, because, you know, it's my girlfriend and then her brother and his fiance and like their family. So I just remember because you know me, I'm a goofball. So I'm like so stoked. And every time he like puts his like feet shoulder width apart, I was like, he's going to do it. And I jumped up and I started doing it. And then he did it. And I was like,
I love it.
And everyone else was like, okay. And I was like, come, like you said, tell me you don't have rhythm. And
exactly.
Hey, I'm like salting and stuff. And I'm
live
like,
a little, hump the air.
I was like, what are we doing? This is fun.
It's the best. You should have seen that shit live. I saw that shit live. God. It was incredible. There's like a video, I have on my phone of 1 million of them. But like I'm videoing him and he's dancing, then he starts thrusting and you just hear me screaming. I'm like, like like just start because I'm like he's everything.
Well, let's talk about it. Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
So you went down there with a big group.
Big group of people. Yeah, there was like 20 something of us.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a lot bigger than I assumed. I thought you were gonna say like 6.
No. There was like a bunch of us. Yeah.
And then did you? Was the plan to go down there to see Bad Bunny?
Yeah, we literally all of us when the tickets went on sale. Like JC's friends, they like run this thing called the 9 a.m. Banger, so they're super plugged in with music. So they got like a pre-sale on the tickets.
Okay.
So we got, and honestly, we paid. Me and JC paid. They did the VIP package. We didn't do that. We paid like $100 for the tickets.
That's the thing is
so cheap
with music. If you can get the ticket at actual cost,
yeah,
they're not crazy.
It wasn't crazy.
It's
at
the same
all.
thing with comedy. Like Shane Gillis talks about this a lot, but like people buy up his shows and then resell them for like hundreds of dollars, and he's like, if you can get a ticket on like the regular sale, he's like, I don't charge more than like $120.
Yeah,
like, it's not crazy.
and that's how it was for this. Yeah.
So you end up getting the tickets.
Get the tickets.
I want to walk through this because JC, like I said, he mentioned it and then kind of
moved on.
But we're gonna get the dirt. We're gonna get the tea.
We get the tea.
So what did you have like a plan? Like we're gonna go down there and this is gonna be just a party for the. How many days did you go for?
We went for like 5 days.
Okay.
So the thing is that like I said on our the last episode I was on, I'm not like a huge drinker, but I knew I was like I'm going to Puerto Rico, like my hometown. You know what I mean? I'm like this is like where my family is from. I love it there. Like I've been to Puerto Rico. I mean like
and mi casa.
Yeah, I've been there like 12 times. You know what I mean? Like I love it there. I can get around. I know where I'm going in Puerto Rico. You know what I mean? So. I was like, this is going to be fun. We're going to so many people. Like, it's going to be a blast. So I knew that, like, the day of the concert, I was going to get drunk.
Yeah.
Like, I definitely knew that because what we did is we rented a school bus and we literally, the concert was at 7:30, I think it was. And there was a hurricane, so it started earlier because we were trying to, like, not have, like, the power go out. So we got a bus at, like, 2 p.m. and we just drove around the island drinking, and it was the best. Like,
how is that for you? Because you're more of a weed person.
I'm more of a weed person, but I was having a great time. Because also like if the drink tastes good, then I could do it, right? So like
naturally,
exactly. So but for me, it's like I hate the taste of alcohol, so like it's never fun for me. But we got to like an Airbnb that one of his friends was staying at, and they just had like pina coladas, and then these like
love a pina colada. Oh my god,
these like they look like Capri Suns, and they taste like juice, but there's so much alcohol in it. So I was like, I'll start with the pina colada. I'll take it slow. I mean, I was wasted before we got on the bus. Like I was so lit before we got on the bus. Like JC's like, pace yourself. I'm like, it's too late. It's been done.
I actually am already. I fell in the snow. I'm done.
Yeah, I'm over it. Yeah, exactly. So we're like on this bus, and it's like, have you ever been to Puerto Rico?
No.
One thing about Puerto Ricans is like you don't have to be Puerto Rican. If you love their culture, they love you. So
yeah, it's a vibe.
It's a vibe. So we're like in Puerto Rico. We're on this bus. We're like the bus is driving us all through the island. So we're like driving through. There's Puerto Ricans.
Is it a friend driving the bus or is it you
like
rent
a company.
it? Okay,
it was a
okay,
company.
Yeah.
So they're like driving us through. We're blasting music. People are like stopping, dancing in the street with us.
Yeah.
It was the best. We like stopped because everyone had to pee. We like stop and they were like, can we use your bathroom? Like, of course. Like, go in. Like, they're giving us free shit. Like, we had an absolute blast. Then we get to the concert, right? And now I'm like, oh no, I've done too much. Like this is, and like I'm so drunk.
I made a terrible mistake.
I've made a terrible
Where is my mom?
Yeah, I'm like, this is too much. And then like, so what he did was, it was really cool. It was called the San Benito like festival. So it was like a bunch of like local vendors from Puerto Rico, all outside of the concert.
Okay.
And like
almost
selling
like a carnival.
food. Yeah, selling food, like everything, drinks. So it's pouring because it's like a hurricane we were there for. So like online eating food. I'm trying to eat so I can like sober up. And then we were having a great like experience because on our way there on the flight, people were like, oh my God, Peach Trust Puppy, make me laugh. We love you. We can't believe it. We're like, what? Then we get to the concert. People are stopping us at the concert. Like, we love your podcast. But I'm
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, but I'm too drunk. So like we took selfies.
Thank you very much.
We took selfies with people. I couldn't tell you what these people looked like. If they were in a lineup, I don't know a thing. You know what I mean? Like we were getting tagged and shit, and I'm like, who are these people?
That's what I was gonna ask. That's what I was gonna ask.
I'm like, who are these people?
Did you were you able to keep it together enough to look good in the pictures?
Yeah, like someone hit me up and was like, oh my God, I was the person you saw. I was like, girl, I don't know who you are because I was so drunk that like, we couldn't tell at all. They're like, girl, you kept together. I had like sunglasses on so you couldn't see my eyes. And like I was still put together, thank God.
Yeah, thank God. Because I've seen pictures of me when I'm wasted.
Oh my God.
Like, and I'm like,
humiliating.
You're a disaster.
Yeah,
dude.
it's so bad. But then
Get your shit together, man.
We get to our seats, right? Now we're like on a high because like people have seen us and recognize us. We're like,
That is one of
even
the
in
coolest
Puerto Rico.
experiences,
Yeah. You know?
Hey!
Exactly.
I had that from the Hannah stuff, like, because I wore all my merch.
Yeah.
So it happened like 2 or 3 times, but I'd be out in the street wearing my merch, and they're like, "Oh my God, from the Hannah burner!"
Yes.
And I was like, Yeah, I'm kind of famous.
Yeah, what are you going to do? Yeah.
You want a picture?
But we go to sit down, and like it's an arena, like, you know, the seats go up and then you push them down. I don't notice. I go to sit, miss the chair, like fully hit the ground. My legs go up in the air, and I'm like, oh my God. And I like look at JC, and that he's drunk too. So there's people sitting next to us. He's looking at them. He's like, can you believe her? And I'm like, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Just doing bits?
Yeah, just doing bits. Just like for the people.
Oh, I'm a stupid, huh?
Yeah, and like for the people, and I'm like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. So like I get up and I'm like,
there's people that recognize him like, he still got it. He's on.
And I'm like, you have to come home with me. I'll fucking kill you. So like we get up and I'm like, we have to get out of here. Like, cause the concert started. I'm like, I need to like go and get coffee or something. So we like, truly, we got out and got coffee. And then his friends are like partiers. Like you've heard from his when he did the podcast. Like they can really party. I am not at that level.
He talked about going to a concert where they got up at like 6 a.m. to pregame. No, his first episode.
It's
and I was
outrageous.
like, I'm a booze bag, and to me, I'm like, I'm not setting an alarm to get up.
His friends created this thing called the 9 a.m. banger.
Yeah, he talked about that.
Like, and it's huge now.
Yeah.
Like they're in every city. It's huge. They're like doing so well. Good for them. But 9 a.m. Are you kidding me? Like I've gone and now I'm ruined for 2 days after. Like I just don't have it. So we go at this concert. We go. I'm like, I have to have a coffee. Like I'm gonna die. So I get in coffee and they are all have like their drinks. They're like, are you fucking kidding? Coffee? And I'm like, I'm not like you. We are not the same.
We're not playing this game.
We're not playing the same. Then we go to the concert, whatever. Like I sobered up. An amazing time, like such an amazing concert. Like he put $400 million back into the Puerto Rican economy.
That's awesome.
It was incredible. Like especially like because I'm Puerto Rican, like I just felt like, oh my God. And he made like a whole thing about like even if you're not from here, especially from New York, like you are one of us. And it just was amazing. Then we leave and his friends are like, we're going to the club, and I was like, I'm going home. Like I'm not.
We did the thing.
We've been out since 2:00. At this point, it's like 11:30. It's like midnight. I'm like the club. And then I'm like, no, I'm finding a 24-hour Chinese spot. I'm going to eat. I need greasy food. Like I'm already hungover at this point.
Bed.
You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm experiencing hangover.
That's the worst when you get the hangover as you're awake.
And I have a hangover. This is crazy. So they all went out to the club, and me and JC, like literally, we were like, absolutely not. We found the Chinese spot. And we ate, and we went back home, and we were like just watching videos on our phone, like the old people that we are. But we had the best time. We also did shrooms in Puerto Rico for the first time.
How was that?
Incredible. We microdosed, obviously. We didn't do like a whole thing, but it was incredible. And JC doesn't do drugs.
Did you do that before?
We did it before. We did it like the day before the concert. Okay. We were at the beach all day.
That was the part that he kind of was like, yeah, we did shrooms in Puerto Rico anyway.
Yeah. So we went to the beach.
Moving on.
Yeah. Because he's so new to this. I had never done.
Well, he just started. He talked about this on his episode, but you have been a big proponent of marijuana for a long time. He just started with the edibles.
He thought the way JC would treat weed was like it was heroin. And he was like, no, because if I do that, I'm going to get addicted.
As someone who's done weed and heroin, it's not.
It's not the same. So he's like, I'm going to get addicted. And I'm like, yeah, he was so scared.
I don't mean to laugh so hard, but that's so cute.
Well, he did the same thing about coffee. He didn't drink coffee until he met me. And then coffee is such a big part of my life. And like, I love the experience of coffee. Like I love the whole thing. I like drinking for the taste. I don't drink it for like anything else. And, I was like drinking, and he's like, I think I want to sip, but I'm scared I'm gonna get addicted. And I was like, who?
Cutest
I'm like, the DARE program really did a number on you, my friend. Like, what are you talking about? Caffeine is what you're nervous about? And now he has a coffee every morning and all this stuff. But he was so weird about weed, and I never pushed it on him. Like, well, when on our first date, I like tried to blow weed into his mouth because I'm like, grow the fuck up. You're a man. You know what I mean? Like, you have to.
Don't be a bitch.
Yeah. And so like I stopped smoking actually because I developed asthma like over the summer, and it was horrendous. And I was like, I'll never smoke again. But then I was like, I want a little something. Like this is boring. Yeah.
Oh, trust me.
No offense.
I have a whole bit about it where everyone cheers when I say I'm sober, and I go, it's so fucking boring.
Yeah. No offense to you, but I was like, I need a little something like every now and then, you know. So
life's hard.
Yeah. So I started doing edibles, which I used to hate because like I did too much and I didn't know like whatever. I didn't know like because it's hard to tell with when you're eating it, when you're ingesting it. So I started doing it. I was like, wow, these are great. Like the edible I got was so great. And I was like, I feel so like I can clean the house and I'm like in a great mood, all this stuff. So then one day I'm like, I take one and like I was doing a half and he was like, I'll take the other half. And I was like, what? And he was like, we're home. Like I feel safe. And I was like, okay. And then he had it and he was like, I love this. Cause he was having like a high noon, which is like a vodka seltzer every night. And I'm like, you're so scared about weed, but like alcohol is so much worse for your body.
Well, and the calories too.
Yeah. Like, so I'm like, what do you like? Well, the calories. He's getting the munchies like a motherfucker. So I don't know about if he's doing any better.
He's not really cutting it out. It's like when I quit drinking, everyone's like, oh, you're going to lose so much weight because of the sugar. I go, I'm eating like a rack of brownies.
Yes, exactly.
every night.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with
But you're
calories.
gaining a tremendous amount of weight. It's actually kind of scary.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know if he's seeing any of those like positives, but so now he does that. But we went to his friends do like real drugs.
Yeah.
And like we don't. Like that was my first time ever doing anything outside of weed. So we were there and they're like, we have shrooms. Like it's a perfect place to do it. We're at the beach and there's a beach called Luquillo Beach in Puerto Rico. And it's like, they have all these like restaurants across the thing. You can go get food. It's like it's a vibe.
Yeah.
So we were there and they're like, you're amongst friends. There's no waves. It's like very like, calm. And the water's perfect temperature and it's like beautiful. And they're like, you could just be in the water. And I was like, I don't know. And then I was like, all right, you know what? Like you only live once. What's going to happen to me? So we did it. And like, I didn't even realize it had hit me. I'm just like in the water, like,
it's the best.
It was the best. Like I'm like playing in the water. I'm like, this is, and then I got like emotional. I'm like, we're like, this is like where our family is from, and like, like then I'm like, my grandmother like played in this water, and like, you start.
I knew exactly that's where you were gonna go.
Yeah.
Because that's where my brain went.
Yeah. I'm like, my grandfather, this is incredible, and then I'm like watching the clouds move, and I'm like, wow, the clouds are moving so fast, and like, then I remembered we did shrooms. I'm like, oh, I'm high, because I forgot. I'm just like, and then I suffer from severe anxiety. Yeah. Like my brain.
That's why I'm always scared to do.
Yeah.
I never did psychedelics, even in my worst addiction days, because I was like, no, they say like you have to be in the right mindset, and I've never once
I've never been in the right mindset. Well, I'm here to tell you that when I microdosed, my brain shut off, and I didn't realize it. I'm just sitting there, and it was quiet. Like I was able to take in the beauty, and it's sad, but I've never experienced that. Like my brain is on. All the time, and it's always telling me horrible things, and it's terrible. And I'm just like taking it in.
You're the worst. You're the worst. You're the worst.
Yeah.
You're the worst.
Even it's all I hear all the time. Like, you are so corny. You're the worst. Like, then I'm at the beach and I have body dysmorphia. I'm like, you look like shit. Yeah. Like, you don't compare to the rest of the women that are here. Like, it's horrible.
Are you even Puerto Rican?
Yeah, truly.
Yeah.
And then I'm just quiet. And then I'm like I'm just like looking at stuff. And then there were like guys playing, playing with a football, and I got hit in the head with the football. My glasses like flew off my face, and I'm like, man, who cares?
Wow.
And that's not usually. I'm like, I looked at JC. I'm like, if I wasn't on shrooms, I would look at him like, kill them. Like
all of them.
I want them dead. But I was like, what are you to do? We're in Puerto Rico. Like, who cares?
That is awesome.
Yeah. So it was like really great, and that was like the only time I've ever done it. But I was like, wow, my brain like really. I was like, wow. After I was not high anymore, I'm like, then I started getting upset. I'm like, there are people that live like that. Like,
yeah, there's people who microdose like in the morning every morning.
Or they're just people that naturally don't have anxiety.
Yeah,
which I can't. Even.
I had a roommate like that. I remember I was on probation and we were like doing something in a hotel. We went somewhere that's what we did. We went to the Hollywood Hard Rock to like play poker. Yeah. And he's like, oh, let's all throw in money and we'll get a hotel room. And then like he brought his girlfriend and a bunch of friends came with us. And I remember they were doing coke in the hotel room, and I was like, I'm on probation.
Yeah, I gotta get out of here.
The cops are gonna hear us. The music's too loud. And he was just like, he was one of these people where he's like, dude, who cares? Relax. And I was like,
yeah, I'm not that person at all. I'm always, and the thing is, I'm not on probation and I live like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, what has happened? What happens if this?
I've been sober for 8 years and I still live like that.
Yeah, it's crazy. I go to the airport and when like my luggage is going through the thing, I'm like, I hope I took my guns out. Like, I don't even have that. You know what I mean?
The only thing that has saved me is being in the super secret program I'm in. Is it's a lot about like you're not in control. It's not up to you, and that has actually helped me a lot with my own anxiety because it's like, oh, it's just fear based. Like. I have to do this because I hate flying because of my anxiety and I'm a control freak. So I do have to say to myself constantly, and it's one of those things where you think you say it once and you remember you said it and you're fine. Yeah. But I will have to say over and over, what are you going to do? There's nothing you can do. What are you going to do? There's nothing you can do. What are you going to, like if there's turbulence or something. And the only way I can stop myself from like freaking out is just to be like, there's nothing you can do. What are you going to do? There's nothing you can. And I literally have to like mumble that to myself the whole flight.
Speak out loud.
Or else I'm like freaking the fuck out.
Yeah.
Like I want to jump in the cockpit and be like, move out of the way.
I literally start looking at stats of things. Like I'll be like, one in this many planes go down, you'll be fine. Yeah. Like this is the one.
Okay.
You're going to be fine. Okay. But yeah, it's crazy. Like I am petrified on planes. I mean, my brain is horrible. I'm thinking about my death all the time.
I have to sleep with headphones in.
No,
I have to listen to a podcast when I sleep.
Do you really?
Or else I just lay there and go, man, you're going to die one day.
Oh my
Maybe
God.
not soon, but you're going to die.
Yeah.
You're going to be laying somewhere and you'll be like, this is it. This is over. And I'm like, put your headphones in. Listen to a funny podcast.
You're the only person I know that thinks like that. Because people tell me all the time, they're like, Samantha, that's a crazy way to think. And I'm like, it's all the time.
And I don't know. I always equated it to like being in the program and like even before I got sober, like I have friends die.
Yeah.
That's just what
people
happens.
Die. And
everybody, like eventually everybody, like death comes for us all.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to turn it so like dark, but it is one of those things where it's like Like, I'll have people in my life and they get older and they get sick. And I'll just be like, yeah, people die.
Yeah.
Like, it sucks. But people, that's what happens.
It's what, yeah.
And Tracy's not that way. And she's like, why are you saying this?
JC's the same way. He's like, what the fuck are you saying? Because I'm like, it's going to come for us. Yeah. Like, what is it going to be? Like, the day before the blizzard, I had to go to urgent care because I also convinced myself that I had a blood clot. And why did I think that? No reason. I just thought I was in bed and like I go through, like when I go lay down, I'm like, okay, you could have cancer, you could have a brain tumor, you could have this. Like, and I just decide what it is that I have. And I go, oh, I have a blood clot because I sit a lot. So that, and that's all it took. And then I literally convinced myself, and then I go, you know what, let me put on a show that's going to like, you know, like a comfort show for me. So I stopped thinking about that. I put on Vanderpump Rules, which is like one of my favorite shows, picked a random episode and I put it on. And Lisa, who's like the lady who runs the show, starts talking about how her mom just died of a blood clot. And I go, it's a sign. Now. It's a sign. So I went to urgent care and asked for a specific test so that I could put my my anxiety at ease. And then they called me like 3 days later, and I was like, oh, that was the old me. I don't ever actually think I have that anymore. I moved on. Now I have brain cancer. You're talking about old shit. I moved on.
I'll drop my keys and be like, CTE. I played football for too long.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because I don't drop my keys. I'm a fucking athlete. Or I'll trip over my own feet and I go, I'm an athlete. That doesn't happen. Yeah. I'm dying.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
But normal people are just like, the fuck is wrong with you?
It's crazy, and it's crazy.
When I leave the house, I say to Tracy, I go, say nice things at my funeral. She's always like, no.
I've told JC who he can get with if I die. I'm like, so if I die early, and I don't want you to be alone, this is the girl that you can date, and only her.
I text her before I get on planes. I'll be like, this is my life insurance guy. If anything happens, call him.
Hysterical. I'm the same way.
She's always like, why would you say that? I go, people die all the time.
All the time. All the time. It's so.
I'm not special.
No, it's so bad, but it's a really terrible way to think. And I am trying. I'm like, I have to actually talk to a psychiatrist.
I don't sit with my back. Like if I'm at a restaurant on the subway, I don't sit with my back where I can't see what's happening.
Oh yeah, JC won't do that either. But I think that's just more of like a New York thing, just because you got to be careful.
Yeah, like I've seen too many videos of people getting stabbed on the train because someone just walks up behind them.
Yeah,
and I'm like, nope, not me.
I'm terrified all the time. It's so bad.
Well, on that note.
Yeah, on that note.
Plug everything one more time. Let everybody know where to find you.
You can find me at Make Me Laugh Sam on all platforms, and then anywhere you find your podcast, Soft Launch Podcast, me and JC's podcast. It's really, really fun.
It's a great podcast. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, everybody, so much for listening. At Brennan T Comedy on all social media, BrennanTComedy.com. We're going to be hitting the road this summer. Me and Matt Fulcher back on tour. So get your tickets on the website. We'll talk to y'all next week.
Bye.
That was great. That was so much fun. Thank you. I'm sorry we went a little long.
No, I don't. Please.
One
thing about me, I talk and I talk and I talk.
Oh, it wasn't even as long as I thought. I was so worried. I was like, are we at 2 hours?
No, I love to talk.
Me too. And that's the thing is like.